There we go. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here with Amanda White, and we are going to be talking about marriage. Isn't it about time? Amanda is, we're excited to partner up because Amanda is an expert on time management and organizing your time and stuff like that. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say and how she's going to apply this in relationships. And I know she has some really good stuff for us prepared, but I would like to quickly share with you some things she shared with me about herself. She loves numbers, and she graduated from the Utah State University with a double major in mathematics and statistics, if I can say that right. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know if I could have even gotten through those classes, so that's awesome. And then you taught junior high math for 7 years. That's incredible. That's awesome. Junior high is not easy, I'm sure, especially for. You taught math, so that yeah. Junior high kids. I'm sure that was a fun job.
It really was. I really enjoyed it. The kids, they kind of get a bad rap for just being teenagers, but they really are good kids and just need somebody to love them and be there for them. And I really enjoyed it. So
yeah, cool. That's really an influential time in their life too. So.
Yeah.
So now she has turned her focus to numbers and time management coaching. Oh, from numbers to time management coaching. Sorry about that. Time and order are Amanda's passion. She loves helping others eliminate the busy in life and become highly productive. I want that. Who wants that? Me. I'm sure a lot of other people do too, right? Amanda is a home educator of her 3 beautiful daughters and a successful business owner. The full plate that comes along with being a mom, wife, church member, teacher, and business owner led Amanda to fall in love with time management, systems, and organization in order to keep her sanity as a person. I can relate. You really have to get that in order to survive all of that, right?
Oh, yes.
And feel like you're doing a good job. So she now coaches and mentors others on how to leverage their own time and eliminate productive procrastination. Amanda has a fantastic husband, Benjamin. I know him. He's awesome. I think he's fantastic too. They together own Hire You, a company focused on delivering the education you need to move to the next level. So awesome. Okay, so as you hop on, I might mute you if I hear stuff in the background, just so that we can have an awesome recording. So just so you know, on all this you can feel free to unmute yourself if you have a question when we going along and we open it up for questions. So just so you know that. All right. Without further ado, we're going to hear from Amanda, and she is going to share with us some awesome tips now. So take it away, Amanda.
Perfect, Julie. Well, thank you for having me here tonight. I'm so excited to be with everybody and share with you my thoughts on time and relationships. I know that our relationship with our spouse is the most important one that we have, and it takes time and effort to build that up, So I just want to start by telling you a little bit more about my husband and I as we were dating and came to be married. We met in college going to Utah State, and my roommate actually told me she knew Ben before, and she's like, hey, we're gonna go meet this guy and I'm gonna marry him, so nobody don't talk to him, and didn't quite work out that way for her, but we going to school, my grades kind of dropped off. I did barely manage to squeak by in all my math classes. But when you're dating somebody, it's just natural to spend a lot of time with them, be focused on them. That's just what happens. The relationship is new and exciting, and that Ben and I were just that way. And we actually, for a year, we dated and broke up and dated and broke up. And then we dated again, and he broke up with me on my birthday. And then we dated again. And so in all of that, we figured out a lot of things about how to make a relationship work really well. And next month we'll be married for 12 months. So 12 months, 12 years. That's funny.
12 months. Wrong time measurement there.
Not right. Yeah. So let's go back to like when you're dating, you have all of this huge quantity of time that you spend together. And it's not, it's not something that you have to put a ton of effort into. But as we get married and life happens, you get jobs, you have children, you have, community service jobs that you do, you help with your church, whatever. There's a lot of things that as you grow further into adulthood that happen and come into our life and into our schedules. And if your life is anything like mine, it just kind of seems natural that the family relationships, and especially with your spouse, is the first one to get the time reduced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just happens. And with a lot of my clients that I've worked with and people, they all say similar things, you just don't have the time there anymore because everything else like seems to take up your time.
Yeah, be more urgent or something, right?
Yeah, that's a great word for it. Yeah, that it has a higher urgency. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, a great marriage doesn't just happen. You have to work for it and be intentional in creating that and be proactive in making a good marriage happen instead of just reactive. Because when you're letting everybody else's time and all of the other priorities take place first, then you're just being reactive with your time and in life. So I want you to think about what your priorities are. Like write down, if you've got a pen and paper, like write down where your priorities lie in your life. Because we've got like family and business or work.
How many priorities do you want us to write down?
Just however, handful, 4 or 5. If you have more than that, that's fine. We have children, like there's so many things and people and relationships in our lives that we keep up with. But I want you to think about which ones really, really take priority for you. And for me, my family is at the top of that list. My husband and my children are at the very top of the list. That's my number one priority. Mm-hmm. But in life, like that doesn't always really take priority. We say that's our priority, but it doesn't always get the front spot. So, we have to, instead of having the quantity time, we need to have quality time because we have less of it. That's just the nature of the game at this point. Figuring out how to have quality time. And so if your relationship with your spouse and your family, if that really is your number one priority, then we got to make sure that we schedule that into your day first. So if you're not a scheduler, if you're not a planner, then I'm just going to tell you that you're missing out on a huge part of creating the life that you want. I used to just I would write down, I would have a planner and I would write down my my appointments with other people. I have this doctor's appointment and I need to meet this person at this time. And that's the only thing that ever was on my planner. And if you're running your life like that, you are so missing the point. You might not like that, but you are, because life is about creating what you want, not reacting to other people and just making sure that you show up for other people. You want to show up for you too. So if you don't have a planner, if you don't have something like that that you use, I have a free one that you can go download. It's just on my website. It is a higher, like I'm climbing higher, the letter A, higher, and then the letter u.com/planner. thehigheryou.com/planner, and you just go put your email in, and you get the planner sent right off into your email, and you print it off.
Cool.
So
Can I send a link to the people who registered for that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, that would be great. Yeah, then you'll just have it right there. So
yeah.
Yeah, but in the planner, I like to just work 1 month at a time. So I print off a fresh one every month because I like feeling like I have a new fresh start. But that will give you a place to start. If you already have a planner, good job. You're like already on top of the game. You're ready to go. But I want you to, if you're not doing this, I want you to take in your planner and schedule some time for your spouse first, because it doesn't happen. It's not there. So like you can see, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. Anyway, like over here's Saturday, we have date night scheduled in. I just planned the next day, so I don't have everything this week planned in. Over here, like at night, it says Ben and Amanda time. That is the very first thing that I put in my planner every week, because things happen, they come up, and I want to plan that quality time in there. And it's not a lot of time, it's very minimal, but I know that time is there and that it's going to happen because I wrote it down. If you have that intention, then you're way more likely to have your date night or to, spend some time together. So
yeah, cool.
That quality time. Get it on the calendar. And then the next thing I put is like my commitment with my children, spending time with them each day, but always my spouse first. So, and I'll say this too. Sometimes, I have to write down on my calendar and plan like intimate time, because sometimes that gets put on the back burner too. That's an important part of your relationship.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is that I discovered with that, is it okay if I pop in for a second?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
The first time that was suggested to me, I was like, what? Like, that would just take the fun out of it. Like, you plan it, you know what I mean? But what I discovered on that, okay, I'm just going to try it, I'm willing to try stuff. And it actually was so helpful because I was looking forward to it, and as a woman, looking forward to that, knowing that it will happen on that day or whatever, it kind of helps prepare you, like warms you up, So anyway.
It does, like it's on your brain all the time. My husband will say he's gonna die if he knew I was saying this, but he's like, guys, just think about that. They think about it all the time. It's just on their mind. He's like, I'll be sitting at work and I'll just think about you, and and I'm like, that's not how my brain works. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Like I'm taking care of the house and the kids and everything, and I'm just not thinking. I might think about you, but I don't think about that. But you're right. Knowing that it's on the plan and the schedule, like it really does help to put that in the plan and make sure.
For a woman, yeah. For a woman, it's so helpful. Like I was surprised. I was like, wow, So, okay.
Yes.
This is a little
yes.
I'm what she's saying. It works really good.
Yeah, I'm glad you agree, because most people have that reaction. Really, if I plan it in, it's not going to be fun and spontaneous, and
no,
there's still fun and spontaneity at other times. It doesn't always happen only when it's planned, but it really does help your relationship so much. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks.
Yep. So it's part of the being proactive and making sure that you are creating that good relationship instead of just reacting to when there's time to be with your spouse, or when it's just so important to take that step and be proactive, So
yeah, for sure.
Other things that you can do to be proactive in your relationship, like write a little note to them. That's not something that takes a ton of time. You do have to plan that out and take a few minutes to do that. But I love when I get notes from my husband, and they're just quick little things. Like the other day, he left a note in my car that said something like, "I have been in love with you for 4,723 days." I don't remember the number, but and I can't wait for the next 4,000, or something like little things like that.
Amount of days. That's fun.
Yep.
So cute.
Yeah. He knows I love time, so he knew that me knowing the number of days would be like a big deal. But it's little things like that make a difference,
Yeah.
So
I used to leave little notes in my husband's lunch when he'd go to work, but he stays home now, which is really awesome. We don't have the opportunity anymore, and in fact, he actually makes me lunch now, which is nice. But and so now, like, he goes on business trips, and so I just I'll type up a nice long letter and I'll stick it in his suitcase. So while he's gone, he can read it as many times as he wants, and he, so that's one thing I do, even though I can't put it in his, I can, leave it around the house and stuff like that, even though I'm there in the house with him, it's still fun. But yeah.
Yep. That's perfect. But it's simple things like that. Like, they don't take a lot of time and effort, but they go a long way in your relationship in helping keep that spark there and alive and the love going, So, let's see. Okay. So we want to have the quality time. And what I noticed when I started thinking about quality time with my husband and scheduling that time on there, I started noticing that sometimes we would plan some time and sit on the couch and talk for a minute to each other, and then all of a sudden he gets a text message and he's looking on his phone. So then I'm like, well, let me check my emails, and then we're both sitting there together, but we're doing other things, or we plan time together, and then I'm like, well, I need to hurry and really take care of this really fast. I gotta call this person and get this meeting taken care of for Sunday. So let me do this really fast. And I figured out that I wasn't managing my time and making the most of my time the rest of the day and getting the things on my list done that I needed to make sure that when it was that little piece of scheduled quality time, that it really could be quality time. Mm-hmm. So think about that too. You might be having quality time together or just time together, but really, what are you doing? Are you focused on your spouse? Are you having a good conversation and building each other up and talking about things that really matter, or are you just together? So when you do that, when you make your plan, when you have your calendar of what you're going to do all day, then you can manage all of those things and get them taken care of, so that when it is time to be with your spouse, you really can be there and be fully present up here and not thinking about all of the other things that you've got to get done.
Yeah.
So
yeah, cool. I like that.
We live in a world with a lot of distractions. So make the most of the rest of your day so that you can be there for them when they need you to be there. So
yeah, it's okay if you didn't complete it all.
Yeah. Oh, it is there.
Setting it aside and being okay and peaceful in the moment of being with yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And we live in a world of never ending to-do lists. There's always more to do. We're never ever done with everything.
Yeah.
And I think it was designed that way on purpose, that we would always be busy and having to do.
I think I used to be caught in that thought that I would at some point be done with stuff. And so I would nonstop work trying to get to that point. And one day my husband was like, Julie, it's never going to end. Like, we'll always have, and I was like, oh, like I'd never thought of that before. I thought I can rest when I'm done, but I was never done.
But it's never done. No. No, it's not. No. So that's another thing too, is that because our to-do list is never done, we need to like allow ourselves time to rest and relax and take care of ourselves. I make sure that I plan time for me in my day to be alone. And like for me, it's something that's a reward that I like to do, like taking a bath or sitting down and reading a book for a few minutes, or just going on a walk by myself outside alone without the kids. You need that time to take care of yourself so that you can have the energy that you need to be there for your spouse. And on the flip side of the coin, like especially for women, we need to allow our husbands that time also. Because like if you're like me, I would find myself like my husband would get home from work at dinner time and I would expect him to just be ready to go with the family, and I didn't think it was fair for him to take time for him when he was gone all day. But when you sit down and think about it, like they might be gone all day, or they might be home working all day, but they're just as busy working as we are, and we need to allow them their time to take care of themselves so that they can show up for us 100% too. So if you need to, up level your self-care there, that's an important thing. And if your spouse, I don't think men are very good about that either, like taking time for themselves. They're just really not.
Probably worse than we are.
I think so. I'm sure they are. But like it's a good idea to encourage them to do that, to take some time. I have to tell my husband, like in the summertime, I'm like, why don't you go golfing? I feel like you need some time by yourself. Why don't you go golfing? Yeah. But I know that when he comes home after he's been golfing for 3 hours and he comes home, his bubble, his bottle, his whatever, I don't know, his cup, that's the word I want to say. His cup is full. He is full himself, and he'll be ready to do whatever I need him to do and help me and be with me. So do that. Like allow that time and space for you and them.
Yeah. That's awesome. I like that. That's good tips. Cool. So other than giving, I'll email everyone the link to get the what is it called? Planner.
The planner. It's just a planner.
Yeah, the planner. But what else? Do you have anything else for them? Do you have anything to offer?
Yes. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I know I struggle with my time, and I want to be able to manage my time the rest of the day so that I can show up and be present with my spouse, then I would love to work with you. I love creating order and making a plan, and I want to, hold on. I turned my phone off, but I didn't turn it off. So I do 1 hour time tune-ups with people where we sit down and we look at where your struggles are with your time, whether you're like, I'm so busy all day, but I'm not getting anything done, or that you're missing out on getting those priorities scheduled first, or you're not creating the life that you want and you're just reacting to everybody else. So if you feel any of those things, and you want to change them, let's talk, let's work together. Let's get a 1 hour time tune-up schedule, because we sit down and we go through all of that and we create a plan and a list for you of what to do, and it's so fun. And so usually I do those for $147 for an hour of my time, but for you guys here on this webinar, I want to do that for $87, because I know how important your relationship with your spouse is. I don't know what I would do if my relationship with my husband was not in a good place. That would be really hard. And so I want to help you get the rest of your life in order so that you can improve that. There's always another level to go to. So even if you're like, it's pretty good, my relationship's pretty good, we still can work on time and other things to be able to take that to the next level. So
yeah,
my website is under construction. I looked today and I was like, oh yeah, that page is not up anymore. So just email me at amanda@ahigheryou.com and say, hey, I want to sign up for this, and we'll get you taken care of, because that's the best way to do it right now. So amanda@ahigheryou.com, and then I can just send you an invoice for the special price too.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you. And that, I just want to say that when you work with someone like Amanda, especially Amanda, like, it really makes a huge difference in how you're able to handle the time that you have, you know? And if we're not effective with our time, our relationships are one of the first things that suffers, really. And so our relationship with ourselves and our relationship with others really suffers. It's one of the first things that's going to suffer. And then our money will suffer, and, you know, everything else. It just kind of, it's a huge aspect of our life that when we have that in order, everything else just kind of falls into place. It's like one of those big main puzzle pieces, you know, that if you don't have that one right in, everything else is going to kind of just not fit together properly. So
it's the snowball effect. Like,
yeah.
It either will snowball for good or bad, and you want to make sure that that's taken care of.
Yeah, yeah. And the cool thing is, working with someone, they will actually help you more than if you just try to do it on your own, because you're being held accountable to them, and, you know, they can see things from a new angle that you don't see yourself, that you're like excusing, but maybe they notice, oh wait, you know, this is a spot that you can improve, you know. So it's way more effective to work with somebody well worth the awesome deal she's giving, you know, of $87. So I would highly recommend.
Thank you, Julie.
Okay, awesome. I will make sure and include that too in the email that I'm going to send out with the recording and stuff, because I know that there's a lot of people who signed up that are not here tonight for whatever reason. Sometimes we get stuff that gets in the way of important things. When we know there's going to be change, then it, you know, anyway. All right, sometimes people have things come up that stop them. So, but luckily they can watch this and get those awesome tips that you offered. So, do you have any maybe some tips that you love to give people just about time management that you want to throw in right now? Would that be okay?
Something just about time management?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the thing that I notice a lot of people struggle with, my clients, when they come to me and they're like, I try to make a plan and it just doesn't work. And what happens is that you can plan out your day, but if you plan every single minute of every day, you're not going to be able to stick to that plan, because life happens and things come up. Things take longer than we thought, or somebody calls us on the phone. We have to spend time talking to them. So what I would recommend to you is come up with your priorities. I like to have 2 goals, or action steps, goals for the day that I have to get done. And as long as I do those 2 things, and one usually is related to business and one for my family, what are the 2 most important things for me to do in those areas today? And if I do those, everything else is fine. It's successful. Yeah, it's good. But so, like, put those in your calendar. Plan your appointments, so you have to be with other people and your commitments with them, because that is important. And then plan your top 2 things, when you're going to do them. When you schedule a time for it, you're setting yourself up for success, and it's way more likely to happen and get done than if you just write it down on a to-do list. So do that, and then fill in the rest of your day. But the key is to, like, really only fill in 50% more of the time you have remaining. Because then that allows you space for your day to be flexible and for things to come up, and that gives your brain like a break. You don't feel like you're so confined and in time gel because you have that extra space. But you'll feel so much more successful in your planning when you get your priorities done and you have that flexibility time. So that's like my biggest tip for you with planning your time and how to feel successful in that.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. That's perfect. I like the two, two action steps, one for your family and one for, a goal that you have. Maybe it was business or something like that. But, but yeah, just choosing two, and then the rest are just bonus. Like anything else you get done. Yeah, that's good. Awesome.
Just icing on the cake. Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Amanda.
You're welcome.
All right. I am going to turn the time over to me now. And I have some awesome things prepared to share. So I am going to just do a little screen share with a picture of my family if I can. Maybe I'm not seeing it on here. We'll try that one. Yep. Yay, I picked right. Okay, so this is my family. This is my husband, Nick, and that's me. And this is my son, Dalton, and he is almost 12. He's going to be 12 in a couple weeks. So crazy. And then this is my daughter, Lindy, and she's 8. And this is my daughter, Ivy, and she is 5. And so I just wanted to share that to kind of show, like, where I come from. This is my family. And I wanted to share a little story. So I am actually an auto mechanic, and I know how to fix cars, and I did not learn from my dad, so that's one of the things, like, people think that, oh, you just grew up working on cars. No, I didn't. Actually, I've taught my dad more than he ever taught me about cars. So I went to school to learn about cars, and I just want to share a little story about when I was going to school. So I was in my auto class, really pretty soon after I'd started my auto class. And I was like working on a car. I don't remember exactly what I was doing, but I know that it was kind of taken apart a little bit. And I stuck my hand down, like I had dropped something, which happens a lot when you work. If you've ever worked on a car, like, you just drop like little tiny stuff, like little bolts and stuff all the time, and it kind of drives you nuts. And you kind of get better, but you still drop stuff. I still drop stuff all the time. I just know how to get them now, like I have a magnet and stuff. But at that point, I hadn't dropped enough to know that I needed a magnet. And so I was like, oh, I can reach down there, and I stuck my hand down there, and there's lots of tight spaces. And I got the bolt, but then I went to pull my hand out, and it was stuck. And I was like, tried tugging on it, and it was not coming out. It was stuck in there. And so I'd like dropped the bolt and everything, and I still couldn't get it out. It was like my hand was swelling or something. I don't know how I got it in, because it would not come out. And so I like raised my other hand. I was like, hey, come over here to my teacher. And he was like, just a minute, let me finish the rounds. And so I was like, sat there for like a half an hour waiting for him to come. And then he finally gets over there. I'm like, my hand's stuck. So he helped me get it out. He like poured some, lubricant on it so that it could come out. And so I got it out, and it was, kind of red and swollen because I was in there so long trying to get it out. But I wanted to tell you that story because I wanted to show you that where I came from is a spot of, I didn't really communicate or talk much unless I really needed to. I have never been very good at communication. And so I chose not. He was like, why didn't you tell me earlier? My teacher, when he got there, he's like, why didn't you tell me? I would have come early, like I wouldn't have finished the rounds. I would have come straight to you if you would have told me your hand was stuck, but I didn't. I just chose to wait, right? Because I didn't want to communicate. Communication was so difficult for me that I just didn't do it. I would just choose not to communicate. And that was the same in my marriage. I just carried that through. And so I would choose not to tell my husband what was going on in my life, or like what my schedule was. If I had something I needed to go do, I wouldn't tell him. I would just like go do it, or I would wait to tell him right before if he needed to watch the kids or something. I was like, okay, I gotta go do this, bye. You know, like I wouldn't give him time to even know what was going on. I would just like not communicate unless it was totally necessary. And as you can imagine, that caused us lots of problems in our relationship, because he would be like, he needs to know what's going on so that he can prepare himself, so that he doesn't schedule stuff on top of it. And anyway, there's lots of problems that it caused. And so I'm whoop. Okay, for some reason that closed. Oh well. We were done with it anyway. um, so anyway, I wanted to share that because it's something I want to teach you today. Has to do with time management. It kind of leads in that it will help you not only manage your time better, but also increase your relationship. And the cool thing is, some of the things that Amanda taught have to do with what I'm going to teach. Like, you can totally fit it in with what I'm going to teach. So one of the things she said was schedule your time. Schedule in when you're going to be spending time with your spouse. And I teach something that I call Marriage Mastermind. Basically, it's a couples meeting. And I would recommend that you schedule and have one on your calendar every single week. I would recommend it's just the same time every single week. It's just, that's the time for you to have your meeting together. And in this meeting, you would go over your schedules together as part of it. Now, what this did for us was, like me, the not communicator, I wouldn't tell him what was going on. It allowed me the opportunity to tell him what was going on, that he was prepared to help me. And I used to think he didn't want me to do stuff. Like, I just thought he was mean and just wanted me to stay home all the time. But he wasn't. He was just like, I was springing stuff on him without giving him any warning, or, it was my fault, not his. Like, he wasn't the mean guy. I was just not communicating properly. And so having that scheduled time where, okay, this is what you're doing, is you are communicating your schedule to him. It just helped me get past that. And I know not everybody is that, backwards in their communication, but I know that it helps everyone to be able to sit down and say, okay, we're going to plan our date night, right? And you plan when you're going to go on a date that week. You're going to plan, okay, like, she said, write in your time that this is your time with your spouse. Well, he needs to have that on his schedule too, right? So this is your time to do that. You look at your schedule and you're like, okay, when do we have time to spend? This is our, alone time together. And you schedule it together. It's on both your calendars. Your calendars are synced. And you can ask, like, okay, well, what do you need help with this week? Like, maybe they're doing something that they need you to help them with this week. Or maybe you need some help, and you can ask them for help at that point. So sitting down and having a marriage mastermind, there's more to it than just schedules. But I wanted to kind of focus on that a little bit, because that portion of it is so powerful that your time management, actually, my time management got better from doing this, because I had his support and he knew what was going on in my life and I knew what was going on in his life. We no longer had double things booked. Like, we would, like, sometimes that happens still, like, if there's, like, with the kids, they have, things going at the same time every so often. But for the most part, we don't have double booked stuff. We know what's going on in each other's schedules, and we know what we can schedule. It's so awesome. And so let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, I want to show you real quick If I can find it. I had it open, but it like shut down on me. So let me see if I can find it real quick. I want to show you, so I'm going to give you this printable. I want to give you this printable as part of, signing up for this webinar, and it's something I created, and all the things that you can, do during your meeting. Let's see, this is not, sorry, I cannot do two things at once. I've tried, and I can't. I don't know how people do.
You're okay. I'll say something, Julie, while you're looking for that. Because I thought when you're like, in my meeting, then I planned date night and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, that's when you plan like your weekend getaways together with your spouse too, because you both get excited for it. But if that's something that like brings back excitement and fun to the marriage. Like I was having a conversation with a client the other day, and she's like, you know what, we went and did this, and we went on a ski thing, and she's like, I thought, no wonder all the people on The Bachelor show always fall in love, because they're taking these fun trips and doing these exciting things. And she's like, I'm so much more in love with my husband now after spending 3 days straight with him doing a fun ski trip. And I was like, that's so funny that but it's true. But that's a perfect thing to make sure that you sit down and plan, and every couple of months do something like that together.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. And like just knowing that every week you're going to be sitting down together, it makes it actually happen. Really, like you theoretically say we should plan this, but usually when you say that in that moment, it's not going to happen because that's not the purpose of that moment. Other things are going on. But if you have those times set aside that this is what we're doing, this is, it's going to happen. You're going to make things happen in your life that you've never been able to really make happen before, because you're spending that time, that dedicated time together in a marriage mastermind meeting, right? Okay, so I want to just share with you a little more about what I cover in that. Okay, so here it is. All right, so one of the rules I say is like no fighting and no blaming. Like that is not part of it. This is like totally a positive meeting. Like just make that rule. Like if we end up like feeling like we're gonna fight or something, we end the meeting and we, like the meeting's over. We can talk about, the rest later. Like I don't want this to be a bad experience, because it needs to be a good experience so that you keep doing it over and over again. So start positive. That means that you compliment each other and you take time to show gratitude for what they did that week. And honestly, sometimes this is hard because sometimes maybe I'm like mad at him about something when we start the meeting. That's happened before. And so the reason why I put this here and the reason why you need to compliment them and show gratitude right then is because you might be coming into the meeting with feelings, like upset feelings. And this will help you get rid of them by complimenting them. Genuinely compliment. Like it can't just be a cop-out compliment. It needs to be a genuine compliment, genuine gratitude for them. And so, it can be simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be genuine. And here's some questions to spark that. What did your spouse do today?
Julie, will you scoot it over, because we can mostly just see the box that has the code in it. So if you just scoot the view over a little bit, then we can read. Okay, I can't see very many of the words that you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Let me see if I can figure that out. Did that help?
Yep, there you go.
Is that good?
Yep, now we can.
Okay. Yep. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Telling me that. Okay, so there's the rules and the start positive. So there's some questions to help. And then the next thing is go over your schedules. Like that will, that takes a little bit of time to go over those things. And but one of the keys, so one of the things I love about these marriage mastermind meetings is it covers 4 out of the 5 love languages. And the only one it doesn't cover is gifts. So if you want to bring a gift to the meeting, of course you could. And you'd have 5 covered.
Gifts make everything better.
But you're spending time with your spouse. And then at the end is when I recommend that you show some affection, physical affection, and then let's see, this is where it covers the service one, because you're asking how they want to be served that week. And so don't forget to ask that special question when you're going over your schedules, is how can I help you this week? What can so that you can serve them that week, and you schedule that into your schedule. So sometimes my husband says, well, I need help with this. I'll look at my schedule and I'll say, okay, I can do it on Thursday at 1 o'clock. And I schedule it in, and that time is set aside for him to serve him in however he needs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you schedule, like she was saying, you schedule the fun, date nights, vacation, fun days, stuff like that. So make sure you're getting in those in your schedule. So one of the things, I just want to share this, one of the things, I used to kind of be late to stuff because I like to pack as much in as possible. And so I would leave late because I'm like, oh, I gotta do this, or I want to do this, or I'll get distracted, or whatever. Just things happen, and I just kind of forget when I need to leave. And so I have found that my husband he's good at being on time better than I am, and so he will say, he knows my schedule, and so he'll say, wait, you need to be leaving now, and I'm like, okay, or you need to start getting ready, Julie. So he's helped keep me on track because he knows my schedule and he knows when I need to leave now, and so he can help remind me, wait, don't you have this scheduled? Why are you scheduling something else? Or he just he helps keep me on track, and so you can help keep each other on track, and I do that for him too. It's not just one way, but it's made a huge difference for me because of that. So. And then number 3 is talk about any issues, and this is where I would also add in there talking about goals for your family, and what you feel like you can improve in your family. It doesn't have to be issues. It could be goals. It could be what my husband and I, we have this little goal that we came up with, that we want to organize or build some shelves under our stairs for food storage. I have designed this in my head, what I want to do. And so that kind of thing, what do we want? What goals do we have together for our home? What goals do we have for our family and, children and all that kind of stuff? This is where you talk about your children, what needs they have and how you can better meet them, that kind of thing. But remember, this can be the touchy part. This could be the part where you're okay, you can bring up an issue with your spouse, I want you to improve this, or I need you to do better on this, or whatever. That would be the part you'd bring it up. So just be careful on that part, not to turn it into a fight. But this is a safe moment where you guys can genuinely talk with each other. And then number 4 is to end positive. And I recommend you maybe do a little dance together. That would be a great time to schedule the schedule intimacy for that time, that anything like that where you're showing that physical affection that you need. Right, so do you have any questions about that, or anything to add?
I think you explained it very well, but I love that you created something that does fulfill all the love languages, because that's not something we naturally do. So I think that's very powerful.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop the share. Okay, there we go. The reason why I'm sharing this on this time one, I hope it's obvious, but the reason why is because it made a huge difference for my relationship and my time, both of those things. And so I think every single marriage needs to be doing this. It made it such a huge difference for mine that I feel like if you start doing this, I'm not saying it's easy. It sometimes is, and it's sometimes really awesome, but it is sometimes difficult, and sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and yeah, my husband will say things about me like that he wants me to adjust, and I'm like, you know. So I'm not saying it's easy, but he wouldn't be able to talk. We wouldn't be able to talk about those things if we didn't schedule that time together and make that safe environment where I'm like, I'm choosing in this moment. I'm not going to be mad if he says something that he wants me to work on. I'm going to choose that. Okay, let's talk about this. This is why I've been doing it this way, and this is where I'm coming from, and I understand and see where you're coming from. And just have this like, I'm choosing to communicate in this moment instead of being offended or. But like if he brings it up when the kids are around or whatever, that might not be a good situation. So it provides that safe time together when you can speak. So I'm teaching that today because I feel like it makes a difference for both. Huge, huge difference. So if you're not already doing a marriage mastermind meeting, you need to schedule it in. Get the planner from Amanda. And the first thing you put on it is your marriage mastermind meeting. It is going to happen every week at this time. And just keep it consistent as possible. We do ours on Sunday night after the kids go to bed. That's our marriage mastermind meeting because it plans out right before we start the week. And it gives me a chance to say, oh yeah, I have an appointment this day and this day. And it kind of just keeps it in the forefront of my mind. Whereas like I schedule pretty far out, but when it's in the forefront of my mind, I can know exactly what I have going that week, and I remember it because it wasn't so far ahead. Does that make sense? So anyway, do it. Okay, I would like to share with you one last thing. I have a course that's called Becoming One Course, and it is a 6-week course that I have designed, and it comes with a little workbook and some videos, and you can take it for yourself or you can take it with your spouse. And I teach some things in there that I feel like make a huge difference in your connection with each other and your connection with yourself to improve how you feel about yourself so that you can connect more deeply to your spouse. Some of the things that I teach about, in one of the first ones, I teach you about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And how, when you learn about those and incorporate them into your life, and how to incorporate them, and how to see what you need to help you meet all the needs in the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that how it will help your relationship, how to apply it to your relationship and into your life. And I talk about several different areas of your life and your physical world, like your home and stuff like that, and how to create your bedroom to be like this little oasis, this sanctuary. I feel like my room is it's a little sanctuary for where my husband and I can express love to each other and have this wonderful environment together. I don't have certain things in my room so that it doesn't feel like it doesn't take that feeling away. When you go to a hotel room, don't you love how it feels? It just feels like that, right? It feels like this is just like a little getaway with my stuff. You can create your bedroom to be that way. So, your physical world, how you communicate together, and just some different aspects that you can, when you piece them all together, that it really helps you become one in your relationship with each other. So anyway, I have this course. I normally offer it for $47 on my website. It's for $47 right now. It is worth way, way, way more than that. In fact, I found a course that was about the same length. It was 6 weeks, so it was exactly the same length, and it was $129 for one person. But mine is for both you and your spouse if you want. It doesn't change the price for that. But tonight, I've never, ever done it for this low, but I wanted to for tonight, is for $29, and that's going to last till the end of the week. So for only $29, you can get the course, the 6-week course from the Becoming One course. Totally worth it. And I also will go more in depth on the marriage mastermind meeting and follow up with you on it to make sure that you're actually doing this. So anyway, I would like to give that opportunity to you. So if you would like to take advantage of that, the link will be in the email that I send out. But if you want to go and take advantage of it tonight, you can go to my website, and it's under products and the Becoming One course. So, all right, that's all I had. And I just want to remind you that Amanda also has the 1 hour session with her for 87, and you can email her at amanda@hireyou.com. So I hope that you got a lot of yummy information from this, and that you apply something. Just choose one thing after listening to all this. Choose one thing that you're going to apply, and then you can go back to your notes and apply something later, but just choose one thing, because sometimes we have good intentions to apply everything and it just doesn't happen. But if we choose one, we can do it. Like she was saying, choose one thing or 2 things per day. One thing for, a goal, and one thing for your family that you have to get done. And then everything else is bonus, right?
Yep, exactly.
Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Just keep going. Doing a marriage mastermind or applying yourself to better utilizing your time, it's not easy to do, like you said. And you have to be persistent and keep going, and it will get easier. It will get easier, and you'll be able to see the benefits as you keep going, instead of just doing it one time and then quitting. So
yeah, I definitely don't think that, well, if you just planned out your schedule for one day and never did it again, how is that going to benefit your life? What if you planned it out one day and you just didn't follow it, so you're like, oh, I'm going to give this up. It takes practice, right? You just keep going. Over time, you see the huge benefit, right? And same with marriage mastermind meetings. It might be beneficial for one time, but it's not going to be in the long term if you don't continue. So yeah, commit to it long term. Something that that's what we do. Even if my husband travels, we do it. We will get our, marriage mastermind meeting done, so that we know what we need to do to help each other that week. So, all right, awesome. Thank you, Amanda, for being on and all that you shared, and taking time from your schedule to share those awesome things with us.
You're welcome, Julie. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. Okay. Have a great night, everyone, and just watch for the links and stuff in the email. Okay, bye.